YouTube. We're going to do a video today on the much requested Tuatahi Work Axe. Okay, made in New Zealand. These guys make those cool racing axes you see on the wood chopping shows. But this is their work axe, and it's the one without the ground out parts. And I've gotten a few requests to do a review on this, and so that's what I'm going to do. Also going to talk about hickory firewood, which is what I've got here today. So let's do the axe first. I think it's about a 7-pound axe with the handle, and it's a really fun axe to split wood with. It's really sharp, it's heavy, it feels good to swing. The handle's a big, thick, beefy piece of American hickory. It's really well made. It holds an edge, it's tough. The only negative, I would say, is that sometimes you get stuck in the wood. But if you're smart about the kind of wood you chop, that doesn't happen as much as you think it would. Now, if you've watched any of my videos before, you see me swing this axe a number of times, and it gets stuck a lot. And that's because sometimes I'm a dum-dum with it and use it on the wrong wood. But this wood is from a windfall. We had a bunch of storm damage come through here, and it's not too big, and it's actually pretty good for this. So I really like swinging it. It feels like the right amount of weight. It's got enough weight behind it to where when it hits the wood, it pushes through and splits, and it's sharp enough that it cuts any fibers. Some might say that the heavy weight is a disadvantage, but I don't agree with that, because it is really it really penetrates well, and I really like it. So, oh, and as far as chopping goes, this is a piece of hickory too. It's about a 2-inch piece. If you do chop trees down with axes, this is a great one. I'll show you that. Sometimes I do bring home some of the limbs and chop them up. And when I do that, I kind of go at an angle like that. I don't know if you can see that, but you don't go 90 degrees right at it. I mean, you can, but it's just a little easier if you go 45. And it cuts it really clean and smooth. So it's kind of a great all-purpose axe. As far as hickory firewood goes, it is great. I really like it. I don't go bananas over it like some folks do, but I do like burning it. It burns nice and hot. It's an easy wood to get going. Some woods like oak are a great firewood, but can be kind of a challenge to really get going. You gotta have a really good fire underneath them. I think hickory is kind of that in between where it burns easy, like maple does, but it does burn good and hot. I don't think this is, some people really just, that's all they want is a truckload of hickory. But and if I had only hickory firewood, I would be a happy wood burner. But there are other woods too. And of course, it's really good for your smoking, your barbecuing. I'd say if there is a negative to it, one is it won't stay solid long. It will go punky on you quick if you leave it on the ground. That's one negative, and the other one is that it gets wood borers in it really bad. For being such a hard wood, the bugs really like to get into it, and if you got a stack of hickory in your wood pile and the borers find it, they will bore out a bunch of this fine dust that can kind of gum up your wood stack, fill in the cracks, and kind of keep the wood moist, more moist than it otherwise would be. That's not a huge deal. I don't know if cutting the wood if cutting hickory in the fall would make a difference, or in spring, which one's the best one to have wood that the bugs won't get in. I don't think it really matters. I've seen them get in bone dry stuff, so you may can mitigate that a little bit, but for the most part, they're gonna get in there. Now, that being said, that's about it. Like I said, it burns easy, burns good and hot, smells good when you burn it. And I never turn it down. I don't necessarily go out of my way and jump through hoops, but I go all the way up to about that big before I make a brush pile with it. I really like to have even the limb wood on hickory. And as far as splitting goes, it splits pretty good. It's definitely one of those that once you get a little bigger wood, it splits a little better than some smaller stuff. This can get stringy, but there's 2-inch knots all over this. This was growing beside the road, and so it had lots of exposure to sunshine, so it had a lot of limbs all the way up and down it. But even with those big knots, I think it splits pretty good. Hickory can get stringy, and it's one of those that if you leave out in the weather in the round for a while, especially in the summertime, it can get harder to split. But of course, having a big crotch like that in there didn't make things easy, but this big fat axe got through it. All right, good enough for me. Tuatahi Work Axe and Shagbark hickory. Oh, and this is not the original handle on this thing. I did this myself because the other handle broke. Somebody else broke it when I let them use it. No big deal, I had a replacement. And I kind of left the eye a little proud there, and it split off a little bit on me, but that's gonna be tight for a long time. It's good and safe. May not be the prettiest. All right, thanks.